Now I'm gonna try and rob the armor there. Let's see. Yeah, we need to run towards it. Now, after talking with Daron was his name, I thought, you know what, if you really want so badly to see a pure mage playthrough, write me in the comments and I will do a struggle let's play with as a magician. But only after this one, because it's a real struggle as a mage in the first chapter. But if you wish to see it, I will do one. Yeah. When I was testing this mod, I managed to do it in the first jump. Now, somehow, it's not going so well. Ah, shit. But that's it. When the camera rolls, you know, things about to fail, not go your way. Let's see, he took everything from here. He said if you want a good armor in first chapter, choke some gold, cuff some gold. Not stupid. In the returning they made him smart. He was running over here when you were jumping here. He was running, it says Allah. He wasn't stupid like that. I wanna whack him in the head for his stupidity. What is it, Boo? What? What?
Leave me alone.
You stupid. Now let's talk with the citizens in order. Let's start with you.
Hello, stranger. You must be hungry and thirsty. Perhaps I can interest you in my wares.
That was quite obvious.
I was actually on my way to see the paladins.
There's little chance of that. Since the paladins made themselves at home in the upper end of town, hardly anyone gets in there anymore.
But no, he
Can
insisted he knew
you help me?
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
Me? Nah, I don't have much say here myself. There are a few people in the lower city who have enough influence to get you past the guards. Mateo, my boss, is one of them. Maybe you should talk to him.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Where can I find Mateo?
You're standing right outside his shop. Just go on in. He's practically always there.
I never knew that.
What about the other influential citizens?
The merchants and master craftsmen here on the main street are the most important figures in the city. You should try to get accepted by one of them as an apprentice like me. Since I started working for Mateo, the people in the city treat me with respect.
Go on.
I need some money, and I'm looking for work.
I've heard that Bosper has trouble with his suppliers. His shop is right over there. They say he pays pretty well.
I've heard a thing or two.
What do you have to offer?
At the moment, I don't have much choice. The damned landowner doesn't deliver anymore. And what we get from the small farms isn't enough to meet the demands of the city.
That could be scary in the future.
Tell me more about the peasants' revolt.
It's quite simple. Onar, the fat landowner, won't pay any more taxes to the city. Imagine, we're at war with the orcs, and that fat slob wants everything for himself. Normally, the city guard would take firm measures in such cases, but now comes the best part. They say Onar has hired mercenaries to keep the troops from the city off his back. Mercenaries! The whole thing will end in a damn war, as if one war weren't enough.
So why won't they listen?
I don't know, but Rupert was always one of my favorite NPCs. He's a nice guy.
What do you know about Onar's mercenaries?
I heard that most of them are former convicts from the mining colony, and their leader's supposed to have been a big shot with the king, a general or something, whom they put away as a traitor. These are terrible times.
He's referring to Lee. Look at this fat Valentino. Such a slouch. Walking like that. We'll see him later, don't you worry.
Get so worked up.
Now he has apples. That's very important.
Show me your wares.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Buy one. Yeah, he also made NPCs unequipped any sword. So you can buy back anything you need.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Rupert, yep, he's a nice NPC, always liked him.
I agree agree with you
Hey,
completely.
you're new in town, huh?
Yes, and what about you?
I've come from the mainland, and now I'm hanging around here. I'm almost out of gold, so all I can do now is join the militia, I guess. But I don't want to do that. I won't be slaughtered by those orcs on the king's behalf.
It was obvious all along.
Really didn't.
What can you tell me about the militia?
One of the paladins has taken command. A certain Lord Andre. He's trying to mobilize half the city in case the orcs attack. But you need to be a citizen of the town in order to be admitted. As far as I know, if you're not a citizen, you can train anyway. But you won't be officially admitted.
It's really not my
Okay.
What else can you tell me about Lord Andre?
He has taken over the position of judge as well. If you cause any trouble in this town, you're gonna have to answer to him. I was once in a brawl with a citizen. He went crying to Lord Andre and ratted me out. That little matter cost me 50 gold pieces. I was lucky that it happened at night, or others would have witnessed it.
knew that.
The more people complain about you in this town, the higher your penalty will be.
Unfortunate.
Who did you fight with?
With a fellow named Valentino. He often hangs out in the tavern near the temple. I'm not usually a violent person,
Nobody will learn
but
anything
that
from
guy
me.
needed his face rearranged in the worst way.
That would be
Rearranged, yeah. See, I told you he was fat. Talking about the devil.
Has anything exciting happened?
You could say that. They robbed Bosper the bowmaker. What a brazen thing to do, I tell you. The fellow just ambled into the shop in broad daylight and grabbed himself a bow. And Bosper right after him, hollering, "Stop right there, you rogue!" But the thief was too fast.
hardly know what to believe anymore.
Has anything else?
Has anything exciting happened?
Oh well, all's quiet. I suppose that when the orcs come, we can't fail to notice.
I'm no better off myself.
Yeah, in the returning game, you come back here before you. No, after you come back, the city is taken by orcs. Everyone is killed, and the city is full of orcs and generals.
What can I do for you?
What are you selling?
What do you know about paladins?
Since these bastards have come to the city, I've had nothing but trouble. The last time I was headed for the upper end of town, the guards flat out stopped me and asked me what was my business there.
And?
Of course they let me in. I had my shop in the city when most of those pompous asses were still chasing pigs with wooden swords. And yesterday, the bastards came and confiscated half of my goods.
I was yesterday here, that didn't happen.
The paladins seized your goods.
Everything I had stored in the backyard. They simply posted a guard in front of the entrance to the yard. If I'm lucky, they won't take everything. At least they might leave the armor here.
Well, the armor is with me. Say goodbye.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
What? What are you going to do there?
I've got an important message.
Well, well. Have you tried getting past the guards?
Oh man, forget it.
That's typical of those beggars. I don't know how important your message is, and it's none of my business. But even if you told them that a ship full of orcs just anchored in the harbor, they'd send you away. Because they have their orders.
So can you help me get into the upper quarter?
It seems to be really important to you. The question is, how important is it
What
to
are you
you?
about?
What are you getting at?
I can help you. After all, I'm one of the most influential people here. But it'll cost you.
How exactly can you help me?
Quite simple. I'll use my influence to see to it that one of the master craftsmen here takes you on as an apprentice. As such, you'll practically be a citizen of the city and can enter the upper quarter. Besides which, you'll earn something while you're at it.
Okay, what you
What
selling?
are you selling?
I can offer you everything you need to survive in the wild. Weapons, torches, provisions, even armor. I still have a special piece in stock. Double hardened armor of snapper leather. Still unused. Interested?
1,500. Yeah, I told you he really put high prices on armor. Advanced militia armor, he wanted 7,500. That's insane. I don't know why he bumped the gold so much in this mod. What are you asking for your help?
What are you asking for your help?
100 gold pieces.
You shark. That's a whole damn lot.
You shark.
Take it easy. It isn't your gold I have in mind.
But
In principle, it's my gold. Gritta, the carpenter's niece, hasn't paid what she owes me in ages. But the little brat is constantly running around in new clothes. That means she has the money. I'd like to beat it out of her. But Master Thorben, the carpenter, is also a very influential man. Get me the money and I'll help you.
where can I find this Gritta?
Like I said, she's the carpenter's niece. His house is down the street, the last house on the right before the smithy.
Help me sign on as an apprentice with one of the masters.
One thing at a time. First fulfill your part of the deal and bring me the gold.
Why don't you take me on as an apprentice?
Exactly.
I would, but the other masters wouldn't agree. I just recently took on another apprentice.
In the returning mode you can become his apprentice and make rings and amulets. Really good rings, but you need to put a lot of materials in it as well. Not free.
Where could I sign on as an apprentice then?
Basically, with any master here on the main street. That would be Harrod the smith, Bospa the bowmaker, Thorben the carpenter, or Constantino the alchemist. One of them is bound to take you on. But it's important that the other masters agree. That's always been the custom here in Khorinis.
How do I get the approval of the other masters?
You just have to convince them. Go and talk to them. But if more than one of them is against you, you don't stand a chance. So behave yourself.
Is there another way to get into the upper quarter?
Perhaps. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
He never does. Let me save and I tried to read it. I say just in case if he accuses me of thieving, because in the returning you can touch anything. If you touch this stove or if you touch the bed, you will accused of thieving. They just start to beat you. Any chest you touch, you will get a beating. They made it really hardcore and cruel. So there's many things I like about the returning and many things I hate. But this mod changes so much, but still keeps the vanilla feel intact, you know, and still makes it hard and hardcore and many fixes.
Welcome to my shop, stranger.
Why I want
I am Basper. I craft bows and trade in furs. What brings you to Khorinis?
to play it is so much, even if it with the black bars and everything and doesn't have any graphical improvements still. I hope you enjoy it as well. I hope.
I need to get into the upper quarter.
Where the paladins are? Forget it. You need to be a respected citizen here, or at least hold a decent job. As a stranger, you stand no chance of getting in.
So I noticed.
Show me your wares.
Show me your wares.
See, he did unequip his bow. I've heard that someone stole from you. It wasn't Bartok.
I've heard that someone stole from you.
Who told you that? Probably Bartok, huh? Didn't he have anything better to tell you?
It was Regis.
Oh, well.
Regis!
Let me tell you, if
Regis?
I get hold of this bastard, he
You
can
all
say
right?
his prayers. I left the shop for only a moment. When I came back, I could only just see him leave, with my bow on his shoulder. I called the guards right away, but the lowlife ran towards the harbor, and they lost him there. I lit a bonfire under their asses then, and they searched the entire harbor district, but they didn't find a thing. Those bumbling lackeys. I bet my bow is still in town somewhere. I informed the guards on both city gates, and they haven't seen anyone leave with my bow. When I get my hands on that bastard.
I'm looking for work.
I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. The last one just gave up his job 2 days ago. Do you know anything about hunting then?
Well,
I could teach you how to skin animals. I'll pay you well for every skin you bring me.
Why did your apprentice give up his job?
All he said was that it had become too dangerous out there. If you're really interested, then you can ask him yourself. His name is Bartok. He's probably hanging out near Khorinis Tavern. Go through the underpass from the smithy, then you're headed straight for it.
What if I want to sign with other?
What if I want to sign on
crap.
with one of the other masters?
Balderdash. Erand and Matteo already have apprentices. Constantino the alchemist is a loner, and he hasn't taken an apprentice in years. And as for Thorben, everyone knows he's dead broke. He probably couldn't even pay you. I, on the other hand, am in urgent need of an apprentice, and I pay well too. But no matter where you want to sign on, you need the approval of all other masters from the lower part of town.
Harald will be the most difficult one to join. Sigh.
I want to start as your apprentice.
Before I take you on, I need to know, of course, whether you're any good at all.
Should I learn it now or later?
That's not what my husband did.
What do you want me to do for you?
I will teach you how to skin an animal, and you will bring me, let's say, half a dozen wolf skins. Then I'll know that you have learned your trade. If it doesn't take you forever, and if the skins are in acceptable condition, I will take you on if you like. Or, you can start with one of the other masters, if that's what you really want.
No point in signing with others. It says 5 LP, but it really takes 4. It's a bug they didn't fix yet. They're still working on this patch. They said in the beginning with the next month it will be finished, but I just didn't want to wait. I had a free day today because it's Saturday, and I woke really early today. I said let's shoot an episode. I am ready. Everything is done with Gothic 1, so...
Teach me how to skin animals.
Right. Listen, it's quite easy, really. You take a sharp blade and cut open the animal's belly. Then make a few small incisions on the inside of the legs, and you can peel off the skin. Bring me the wolf skins and we shall see.
We agreed on 6.
About the wolfskins.
We had agreed on half a dozen, but you've still got time. Go and get those skins.
And it's gonna get even worse.
I'm thinking still becoming a true hunter with the Club of Beliar that I want so much, or maybe I should go dexterity route, you know.
So you didn't know that.
Maybe use bows for once because it really goes with thieving
Go away. Don't tell me.
and pickpocket pockets. It's going to be good. There's so many new targets, even citizens can be pickpocketed now, so it's interesting. I know as a strength user we get a crossbows, but they still require dexterity in order to do good damage and hit properly. In my testing game, I don't remember if I showed you my stats there. I had about 135 pure strength. That's with elixirs too.
I've come about Gritta.
My niece? What's your business with her? This isn't about money, is it?
She owes 100 gold pieces to the merchant Matteo.
Tell me this isn't true. Ever since that little piece of work moved in with me, I've had nothing but trouble. She's in debt with practically every single merchant in town. I had to borrow 200 gold pieces from Lamar, the moneylender, just to settle her debts. And now this. Gritta should be in the house. Go ahead, ask her. But I tell you this, she doesn't have a single gold
You'll
piece.
see.
We shall see. How about your approval, Master?
Has Vatras given you his blessing?
Yes.
And did you also get the blessing of a priest of Innos?
Yes, I did.
Then you shall have my blessing as well. No matter what path you decide to take pride in doing a good job, my boy.
Can you teach me pick locks now?
Can you? I don't know whether you can be trusted for all I'm not gonna teach.
Nah, only if I help Greta he will help. He will teach. Let's go and do that. Let me try and read, maybe there's something new here. I doubt it though. No, there is. Hunt and prey every beast, tongues owned by fire lizard that can spit fire, yeah. That will kill anyone venturing within a few paces of it. Only those who have protection from fire should fight those beasts and take their valued tongues. Horns, shadow beasts have them. They are ancient loners that live hidden in the woods. There are very few of these creatures left. Therefore, they are no danger to humans unless they venture into their hunting grounds. The horn on the shadow beast's head is regarded as a valuable hunting trophy. A hunter must learn how to remove it properly in order to claim this prize. As a dragon hunter, it's a must to have this knowledge to turn apart these horns, because in chapter 3 you come back, you can get good experience from Buster. In this patch, if you try to exploit it, give him horns, then beat him up and get the horns back, forget it, they fixed it. So I read, I didn't try it myself. I played as a paladin, didn't have the chance to.
What do you want, stranger? If you've come to beg, I must disappoint you. I am a poor widow. My name is Greta. Ever since my husband died, I have been running the household for my uncle Thorabin.
Test it. Also, they said if you kill all shadow beasts, he will no longer give you 0 experience like it used to be. I always ask myself, what was it, the reason that I brought you these horns and you give me 0 experience? What? Is it expired? Is it the merchants? I found the merchants you're dealing with and somehow found about it. It turns out I read it was the... if you kill all the shadow beasts, he give you 0 experience, so...
How's it going?
Same as always, but I don't want to complain.
Mateo sent me. You still owe him some gold.
He wants his money? What for? The goods he delivered were flawed, bad fabric, and bad seams. And did you look at the colors? Those are not the colors I ordered. That's fraud, that is. Let me tell you, back when my husband was alive, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Oh, my poor husband. Such a good man he was. Handsome, hardworking, a gentleman of the old school. We had it all. Wealth, happiness. Sometimes we were even invited to high society events. The festivities, all the beautiful clothes and hairdos, the fine dining and civilized conversations. Everything was better back then. No one would have dared to humiliate the heart of a poor widow with such ridiculous claims. Whatever shall I do? My pension is barely enough to make ends meet, and times are getting even rougher. One sees it everywhere. People must scrimp and save. It's been weeks since the last ship came to town. My husband was the captain of a merchant ship. Actually, he even owned the ship. From his long journeys, he always brought me presents. Exquisite fabrics from the mainland, precious spices from the southern countries.
Interesting, interesting.
Most people haven't even heard of these things. But then, one day, I got the tidings that the Greta had sunk. That was the name of the ship. My husband called it that out of love for me. I wept and prayed that my husband had survived the disaster. Every day I hoped to hear from him, but all my longing was in vain. May Innes have mercy on his soul. May he rest in peace. Since that time, I've been living under these modest circumstances, and now this soulless, callous Mateo is after the last bit of my life savings. Please have mercy on a poor woman. Back when my husband was alive, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Oh, my poor husband.
Okay, you convinced me.
Cut it out. Where's the gold?
But I don't have the gold. I'm only a poor widow.
I'm going to pay the sum for you then, okay.
I'm gonna pay the sum for you.
You would do that for me? Oh, I knew you weren't a greedy bastard like that Matteo.
Yeah, never mind.
Come back once you've taken care of that. I want to show you my gratitude.
How's it going?
Same as always.
Nothing to complain about.
Do you really believe that?
Wouldn't be so sure.
Wait, what if I tell Torben? I don't think it matters. Let's see. Yeah, only if you take the gold you can tell him that your niece actually had the gold. But then he will say, she had it in a locked chest, that's my gold, give it back to me. I will pay Lemar with it. So,
Here's your 100 gold pieces.
You want to pay for her? I'd have preferred it if you'd squeezed it out of her. Still, 100 gold pieces is 100 gold pieces. You've held up your part of the deal.
squeezed out of here, no need to get so rough.
Help me sign on as an apprentice with one of the masters.
Don't worry, I'll keep my part of the bargain. The other masters will only hear the best about you from me.
That was the easiest one to join. The hardest will be Harad, because we need to take on an orc. Or we can just go all... It's north, west city gates or something, and there's just a X line. But I don't want the easy route, I want the hard one. We'll go and hunt with Bartok. First, Alright, let's talk to him.
New in the city, huh? I'm Brian. I'm Master Harrod's apprentice.
Can I buy weapons from you?
Not really, I'm merely an assistant. The weapons that are made in this smithy are collected by the militia and taken to the towers where they're stored. But if it has anything to do with forging, maybe I can help you.
What can I get from you?
I can sell you some steel billets.
Yeah, and that's it. He won't have more. Only per chapter.
What's it like to be the smith's apprentice?
Why do you ask? You want to be my successor?
Maybe.
Why not? I'm almost done with my apprenticeship, and then I'm gonna leave the city. But not because of Harrod. He is a good master. I've learned a lot from him.
Why do you want to leave this town?
Because the people here are getting on my nerves above all the other masters. I still remember what a fuss it was getting accepted as an apprentice with Harrod. Really, every one of them jokers has something to say about it. I want to decide for myself who I can or can't take as an apprentice.
Who are the other masters?
Well, there's Thorben the carpenter, Bosper the bowmaker, Constantino the alchemist, and Matteo. He sells armor, but first of all, he's a merchant. All the masters have their houses here on the street, and Constantino's shop is in the underpass to the temple.
Tell me more about Master Harrod.
He's not in a very good mood right now. A few days ago, the paladins came and ordered him to forge some swords for them. They've even forbidden him to sell swords to anyone else. Now he slaves day and night to finish the job as quickly as possible.
What do you want? Ah, not yet.
Do you sell weapons too?
Forget it. Everything I make goes to the paladins or the militia. I have a commission for 100 swords from Lord Hagen. He wants to equip the city guard.
That voice acting is good.
I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. Brian will have finished his apprenticeship soon, and then he'll leave the city. Are you good for anything?
If you mean, do I know blacksmith's work?
No.
No, that's not what I meant. Sooner or later, the orcs are going to lay siege to the city, and then the only men who will count will be those who are in a position to defend our city. And I won't take on anyone as an apprentice who will disgrace me by fleeing the city with the women and the good-for-nothings, instead of holding the fort here with the men.
A real gentleman, this one. Yeah.
Can I sign on as an apprentice with a different master?
The other masters may well approve, but I will only give you my approval when you first prove that you're good for something.
When can I start as your apprentice?
Not before you've proven to me that you're good for something.
I'm not a good for nothing.
Those are big words. Can you back them up with big deeds?
What are you getting at?
Bring me an orc's weapon. Orcs have been seen near the city. With a bit of luck, you won't have to search for long. If you manage to bring one down, I'll take you on as an apprentice, provided the other masters agree.
Of course. Let's talk about that orc thing. No, because he will give you bandits to kill, and that's even worse. Those bandits will be harder to take on than the orc if you go with Bartok.
It was very noble of you to pay for me. I want to show you my gratitude. Here's a bottle of wine which my husband, may Innos rest his soul, brought back from the southern islands. Also, I'm going to spread the news around. At last there's somebody in town whose virtue...
Yeah, never mind.
As long as there are men like you in this town, I still have hope that everything will turn out well.
Wait, what?
How's it going?
Same as always.
Wait a second.